If you're planning to retire soon, a bear market can feel like a punch in the gut. But panicking and pulling your money out, no, don't do that. That almost always does more harm than good. What you need right now is a plan that accounts for bear markets, downturns, declines. Maybe your retirement is 1 year away, 3 years away. Maybe you just retired. Either way, we've got some work to do. And this is exactly how you weather bad stock market events. So tip number 1 is cut back temporarily, even if it's just for now. Use this uncertain economy that we're in as your cue to cut back. This is not the time to splurge, especially when recession chatter is flying about and layoffs are making the headlines. It's not the time to buy a new vacation home or plan a luxury trip. Delay big purchases. Pause the travel. Reduce the extras. Just think of this as a temporary belt tightening. And this is something that doesn't get mentioned too much, but this isn't the time to really stir the pot at work or pick a fight with management. Just think of it as strategically thinking about things. If your job is stable right now, then hold on to that stability while all the volatility happens in the stock market. Now, cutting back achieves 2 things. It prepares you for surprises, such as a layoff or a huge dip in your portfolio. And secondly, it frees up cash for tip number 2. Okay, the second tip is to build a cash reserve now. Start putting money aside in a high-yield savings account, a money market, even maybe a short-term CD. And I don't mean your emergency fund. This that I'm talking about is something else entirely. This is the money that you'll live off of for the first 3 years of your retirement. This is your breathing room while the market does its thing. It's the money that pays for your living expenses. And why does this matter? Because the last thing that you want to do is to sell off your investments when the market is down just to pay the bills or to buy groceries. That's how you lock in lifetime losses and you derail years of planning. Let's think in terms of buckets. The first bucket needs to be cash. It needs to be liquid, there when you need it. How much does it need to be? Well, of course, that would be different for everyone. What you need to do is to estimate what 3 years of living expenses might look like when you're in retirement, and then start working toward that figure. That's exactly my goal right now. Now, if you're within a year of retirement, or maybe even 3 years, yes, keep contributing to your 401ks or your IRAs, but start carving out what you need to start building that 3-year cash cushion. That's why tip number 1 is so important here. Now, this isn't fear, it's strategy. It's a move that gives you peace of mind and options. And we like options. Okay, tip number 3 is stay in the market, but have a plan. And so this tip is more of a don't do than a do. So I'll repeat. First, don't panic and don't cash out. Even in a bear market, history proves that recoveries usually quickly follow downturns. If you cash out, you're going to miss those. Now, with that said, with everything that's been going on in the stock market lately, maybe that's got you to thinking that you're invested a little too heavily in stocks, especially for this late in your working journey. Maybe this is the time that you talk to a financial advisor. Do your research. You might need to shift into a more conservative mix, but just stay invested. So from the research that I've done personally, Sources say that you shouldn't go below 50% in stocks, even when you retire. Because what you're trying to do here is you need that growth because you need to fund the next 20, 30, or more years of your life. I mean, that's almost as many decades as we've had on the other side, of investing. So we still need that growth. Don't get too conservative with your mix. Let's think about those buckets again. You've got the first bucket that you're working on. That's the one that's going to have that 3 years of living expenses in it. That's cash or something liquid that you can access easily. The second bucket needs to go a step further out. We're going to talk about 3, maybe even up to 10 years, 3 to 10 years of living expenses. Maybe that's what you put in your more conservative mix, whether it's bonds or just, something that is more guaranteed. Then anything that's 10 or more years out, that's the money that you leave in the stock market to do its thing over the course of the rest of your life. And of course, this is something that you'll have to rebalance. You'll have to refill those buckets as you empty them. So it's not totally passive. It is something that you have to kind of keep up with. And yes, just keep contributing to your nest egg, even if it feels like you're throwing money into a black hole while it's down. Always think of it this way, that you're buying those shares of stock on sale at a discount. What we're waiting for, and what history has shown always comes, is the recovery. And when that bus pulls up, you want to make sure you have a seat on it. So what if you're planning on retiring next year and you don't have this 3-year cash cushion built up? Okay, well, first, of course, you want to focus on saving as much as you can, saving aggressively to fill that bucket up. Number 2 would be, can you delay your retirement by a year or 2? I know that's probably not something you want to do. Or 3, can you, once you've retired, work part-time and continue building up that cash reserve with that income? And 4, don't forget to count Social Security if you're at the age to where you want to start claiming your Social Security, because that will also pay for a lot of your living expenses, and that is guaranteed income once you start claiming it. Do you have conservative investments that haven't taken a hit during this recent downturn? Maybe you could consider using those to fund your cash reserve. Of course, talk to a financial advisor before you start doing things that, you might not be able to undo. If you do sell off some of your conservative investments to fund that first bucket of cash, just remember to rebalance afterwards. Now let's say, what if you just retired and now this has happened? Same principle applies. Don't touch your portfolio unless you absolutely have to. Look for ways to earn a little, spend less, and ride it out. Even small adjustments can buy you some time. Now, bear markets, they test our patience, but they also test our plan. If we just stay calm and make these small, smart moves now, then we can weather these storms now and in the future. When you get close to retirement, start thinking short-term, mid-range, and long-term. And let me know in the comments how you plan to navigate these waters. Share with us. I'd love to hear it. If you're over 50 and just starting to think about retirement, I would love for you to subscribe. I've got a lot more content just like this. And also, check out this video on what baby boomers want to warn Gen X about regarding retirement. I'll link that right here. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.